Welcome back on the program. And so much is ongoing in Kano State at the moment. And major priority now is keeping peace and maintaining law and order. As the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwoola, a few days ago, summoned the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court and the Chief Judge of the Kano State High Court over conflicting interim orders on the Kano Emirate tussle. The Federal High Court in Kano, presided by Justice Amobeda, issued an order for the eviction of the Emir of Kano Muhammadu Sanusi II from the palace, reinforcing the authority of the 15th Emir of Kano, talking about Aminu Ado Bayero. Now, join us via Zoom as a lawyer, Inibehe, Effiong. Many thanks for joining us on the program this morning. It's quite interesting. We're seeing developments coming from Kano. What do you make of interim orders coming left, right, and center from Kano at this time? Looking at the fact that the CJN talking about the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the judges involved in this matter. What's your take on this development?
Very embarrassing. It is again another indication that we have a problem with our judiciary. You cannot have a situation where 4 courts, 4 different judges, 2 judges of the Federal High Court, and then will sit and give decisions, and then you also have 2 different decisions from the Kano State High Court, all tailored towards addressing one issue. I see this as an abuse of the judicial system. There is one case that was filed by one of the kingmakers, the first interim order that I was aware of, or that we are all aware of. Subsequently, that was on a Friday. On Monday, the Attorney General of Kano State approached the High Court of Kano, obtained his own injunction. The 16th Emir of Kano, I hope I'm correct, has also gone to court, obtained his own injunction. The Emir who has been deposed, Emir Ado Bayero, has also gone to court, obtained his own injunction. So you have in all 4 conflicting injunctions. All these orders were made ex parte. That is in the absence of the other parties. Now, what troubles me is that when you have this kind of embarrassing situation, that judges within the same geographical location give this kind of orders in a case that has assumed so much public hostility, a case of this dimension. So it is not possible to say that, oh, I am not aware that a court of coordinate jurisdiction has made a conflicting order. Because the Kano State High Court and the Federal High Court are court of coordinate jurisdiction. They are not superior to the other. Decision of one is not superior to the other. Decision from both courts are appealable to the Court of Appeal. So when the Federal High Court gives an order, you cannot appeal to the Kano High Court. Likewise, you cannot appeal a decision of the Kano High Court to the Federal High Court. So I do not understand why this has to continue to happen in this country, that you will have this kind of situation. Now, I don't want to go into the subject matter of the dispute, but I think it is elementary law. I know it is elementary law, and I believe most lawyers will agree that chieftaincy matters are not matters that you can ordinarily litigate at the Federal High Court. It is a state matter. Right?
Mr. Effiong, this development, we're also going to talk about your interpretation of this case, but this development may have led to some sort of, reduction in the confidence of Nigeria in the judiciary. We've had legal experts analyze this issue differently. So I'm going to ask you, what is your own interpretation of this, apart from the fact that it has gotten to a point in Nigeria where many people can access an ex parte motion, can just access an injunction. It sort of seems, like a black market at this time. What do you make of this statement?
Well, first, it is not so easy for many people.
All right, I think we have a network challenge there. Lawyer Inibehe Effiong taking us through what exactly is happening at the Kano Emirate as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwoola, has summoned the Chief Judges of the Federal High Court and that of the State High Courts in the state.
All
right, so we have him back.
Not clear.
You can continue with your line of thought now.
Yeah, at this point, it is not so clear what the position is supposed to be, because the police in one brief said, oh, initially they said they were going to abide by the order of Justice Amobeda, the order of the Justice Liman, Honorable Justice Liman, the first order that was made. Justice Amobeda subsequently made a different order that also seems to support Ado Bayero. Now you have two orders from Kano State High Court in favor of Sanusi. So which one will the police pick and choose? The truth of the matter is that the parties should have been ordered, the applicants should have been ordered to put the respondents on notice. Let them come before the court and explain their position. For example, the first order that was made, on the first of the order, my lord said that an issue of jurisdiction is apparent. Right? Now, you have made a finding that there is a clear issue of jurisdiction, but you go ahead to make an injunctive order. So again, I don't know how the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria is going to address this. I don't know how the NJC is going to address this, but this is what I think of this matter. The assumption of the very revered position of Emir of Kano by Alhaji Ado Bayero came on the basis of a law passed under the Ganduje administration that basically divided Kano into different emirates. New emirates were created, Bichi and so on. And now that was how Sanusi lost his position after he was dethroned, and then Ado Bayero came into office. If the same institution, the Kano State House of Assembly, now says, oh, we are repealing that law, we have passed a bill, and the governor assents to it. Section 100 of the Constitution says, once the governor has indicated his assent, it becomes a law. So I don't understand why the controversy had to get to this point. I don't know how that is a fundamental rights matter. I don't know how the court is going to view that. In my personal view as a Nigerian is that something is clearly wrong. So at this point, I am hoping that peace will be maintained. Let all these orders come before the court on notice. Let both parties be heard, and let the court dispense of the matters on the merit. Possibly the action should be consolidated, if possible. There are two cases in Kano. The two cases can be consolidated. There are two cases at the Federal High Court. They may possibly be consolidated. Even under fundamental right action, there is allowance for consolidation of action. Right? Except they want to say the parties are different. But let the matters be consolidated, and let us find a way to resolve this and then save the judiciary of further embarrassment. This simply cannot continue. You cannot have two emirs in one emirate. It is simply embarrassing that you have Alhaji Sanusi in one breed leading prayers, you have Ado Bayero leading prayers. This one is receiving entourage, this one is receiving entourage. Some people are saying they are loyal to this emir, some people are saying they are loyal to this one because of ex parte orders. Because of ex parte orders.
Mr. Inibehe Effiong.
The effect of leading to breakdown, because please, let me make this point.
Okay.
In the respective orders that were made, the judges said, at least in two of them, that they made those orders to preserve law and order. But guess what? The orders have had the direct opposite effect.
But
because there's not a direct threat to law and order on account and on the basis of these ex parte orders.
You will agree with me that this is not the first time we're having conflicting court orders in the country. And with the summoning of these judges by the CJN of Nigeria, will this bring a turning point in the legal profession? Because a lot of people have been talking about judicial reforms. What do you make of this?
The truth of the matter is that every lawyer in Nigeria should be scandalized. Every judicial officer in Nigeria should be completely scandalized. I align totally with the position of the Nigerian Bar Association that you cannot have this. You cannot have this in a responsible country. That four court orders will come within a space of about 3 to 4 days on one subject matter, right? How do you expect people to repose confidence in our courts? I, as the lawyer, I know what we have to go through daily to get justice in our courts. I know that to some extent there is a problem with the judiciary that has to be fixed. But when these kind of orders continue to be torn out from our courts, you are basically telling people that they don't have to go to court, right? That the courts cannot really handle matters, that cases cannot really be resolved in a way that they're supposed to be resolved. So the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria should see this as a matter of emergency. This simply cannot continue. In political cases, we see this kind of situation where one party A will go to court, get a restraining order, party A will go to another court, get a restraining order. We have seen that in APC, we have seen that in PDP, we have seen that in ABGA, we have seen that in many of the political parties. Now it's now getting in chieftaincy matters. When will it be enough? When will it be enough? We simply cannot continue because of all the three organs of government, the judiciary is the most important. When the legislature is in conflict with the executive, it is the judiciary that resolves it. When the tiers of government, look at the case that the AG has filed, by the way, at the Supreme Court. So, pursue local government autonomy with the 36 states, which I support, by the way.
Let me quickly put you
on... It is the judiciary that will resolve that.
All right.
So when the judiciary itself is not able to inspire confidence in people.
Let me quickly put you on a pause at the moment, Barrister Inibehe Effiong. Let's quickly join our correspondent from Kano, Ibrahim Isa, to give us updates. What's the mood like, Ibrahim? He's joining us via phone. What's the mood like in Kano this morning? Ibrahim, are you there?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's the mood like in Kano this morning?
Kano, like every other day, is calm, even though yesterday there was an uneasy calm, so to say, when speculations arise that the two emirs are going to perform their Friday prayers at the Kano City Central Mosque. But later, the Kano Police Command clears the air, informing the people that the Friday prayer is not going to be conducted by these two emirs at a place. So that was resolved, and normalcy returned to the state. Kano is currently peaceful. The two emirs have continued to hold court at their various palaces. One is at the Kano Emir's Palace, which is situated at Kofar Kudu. That is Emir Muhammadu Sanusi, who returned to the palace in company of the Kano State Governor, his deputy, and the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly. Then the 15th Emir is currently holding court at a mini palace at Nasarawa GRA. The two emirs have continued to receive supporters from different quarters who are coming to them to show loyalty and support. So that is currently the situation. And we got to know that they would continue to receive their supporters anytime, any day.
All right, Ibrahim. How different has it been, especially for people in the Emirates, since this tussle began? How much of unrest have you experienced, and how has this affected economic activities?
Well, you know, Kano is the commercial capital of northern Nigeria, and the people of Kano are into a lot of economic activities. So a normal Kano man wouldn't want any distraction because many people engage in those businesses. They go to the market every day, and they wouldn't like anything to be a distraction to them. So most of the drama, so to say, is being witnessed in the areas where the palaces are. But around town, everything is going on smoothly. So talking about the people who are likely affected by this are those who have keen interest on the Emirates, who are especially those who are residing within the palaces and those who are deeply engaged in the palace activities. So it has been peaceful. There is no sign of unrest. The palaces are secured. The palace, the mini palace where the 15th Emir is situated is secured by the police, the army, the NSCDC and all. And the palace where Emir Sanusi is also secure. So
all right.
All the locations are calm.
Ibrahim Issa there, our correspondent from Kano. Thanks for joining us on the program. Okay, lawyer Inibehe Effiong is still on the program. It's a case of having two emirs, two palaces in Kano at the moment. You just heard our correspondent there saying all of this. What's your take?
It is embarrassing. It is a stain on our country. Completely avoidable. You cannot have two emirs in one emirate. There are no two emirates in Kano. I have visited Kano a number of times. It's a very volatile place, but many people they are just going about their businesses. But any small thing can trigger people, especially when religion is involved. Because the institution of emirship is also rooted in the religion of the people of majority of the people of Kano. So this simply has to end. And I have proposed a solution. It is not a difficult matter. Listen, this matter can be resolved in 1 week. All that needs to happen, let the various judges that are sitting over this matter cause hearing notices, because I don't even understand why the matter had to be adjourned for 2 weeks or so. Let all the judges issue hearing notice for all the parties to appear before them. Revisit those orders, set aside the ones that have to be set aside, so that this conflict can end. You can't have two emirs. And I don't know why is anyone going to Federal High Court to litigate a matter of emirship. You can't do that. It is simply a state high court matter. That is my personal opinion. I don't think a Federal High Court can determine issue of emirship or who is the proper emir, right? I don't see how that can work.
All right, Mr. Effiong.
That is strictly for the state.
Well, some parties have promised to not even abide by the law, even if it is passed. We have the secretary of the Bichi Emirate Development Association, Bello Bichi, saying that the Emirate was better even before this change. When this is passed, what implication will it have? And do you think at this point the court really is needed rather than the elders in settling this situation?
No, the matter cannot be resolved politically. I think we should just foreclose that possibility. I don't see that happening, except Parliament. The only way this matter can be resolved politically today is for the Kano State House of Assembly to reconvene, pass a new law, repeal the law that has repealed the previous law. You can see the absurdity. It took a law passed by the Kano State House of Assembly, the Kano Emirate law, to bring Alhaji Ado Bayero to the throne. It also took a law to dethrone Alhaji Bayero and then enthrone Alhaji Sanusi as the emir. The governor has assented to it. It becomes a law. You cannot say I'm not going to abide by a law, or I'm not going to accept a law. Look at the issue of the national anthem, for example. People have expressed different opinions, but the president of Nigeria has given assent. So you cannot say whether you recognize the anthem or not, whether you like it or not. Of course, you can protest it, but you cannot say that this law that has been passed, I'm not going to recognize it. It becomes a law. And if you are quarreling with the process of passing that law, you can go to court and challenge it. And I will even want to know who has the local standard to do that. Is it the members of the House of Assembly that have the constitutional role to pass the law? Or is it those who are affected by the law?
With this...
I don't see how this can be resolved politically, because this is also a dispute between Ganduje and his successor, Abba. And
with
of course, the court also...
Just a moment, Mr. Inibehe Effiong.
Legally.
With this development, how can we bring back sanctity and integrity of the traditional institution in the country?
Again, that is an important question, which is why I will support a constitutional amendment for the role of the traditional institution to be recognized under our constitution. And this why we deprecate, the embarrassing conflicting injunctions from our courts. We must also admit that the continuous interference of politicians and elected officials with traditional institutions does not go well for our country. This has to be discouraged. An emir is not a person that a governor should just wake up in the morning and say, I don't like your face, I'm dethroning you. You have spoken against me, you cannot be an emir again. It is a desecration. It is supposed to be sacred. It is supposed to be sacred. Emir of Kano, it's not a position that you should just wake up and interfere with. This simply has to stop. Whether it is in the Emirate, whether it is an Oba or Igwe, whatever it is, we must have constitutional role for our traditional rulers. They must be protected, because we have now seen that politicians have now realized that they can mess up with the traditional institutions without consequences. If Ganduje did not remove Sanusi the way he did, this possibly would not have happened. This would not have happened. This could have been avoided. All this could have been avoided. Politicians should not be allowed, on the basis of political expedience, to desecrate the symbol, right? The heritage of people. Because the way they are going about it, they are basically telling the people of Kano Emirate that when the governor wakes up in the morning and is not happy or had a bad dream, he can blame the emir for it and cause the emir to be dethroned. Right? That is not how it is supposed to be. And the other point I want to make is that our royal fathers must also respect themselves. Because you now have a situation where traditional rulers are now the one prostrating before governors.
It's a fine place to leave it. It's a fine place to leave it at this time. We hope that peace and unity will return to Kano Emirate at this time. That's lawyer Inibehe Effiong. Many thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you.